I'd like to call the order to order the Onslow County Board of Commissioners meeting for Monday, November 4th. And we will start this morning with Ms. Janelle Galloway, our Assistant County Manager, leading us in the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Chairman. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come before you and conduct the business of Onslow County. Today, as we recognize our veterans, we ask that you bless them for the hardships they faced, for the sacrifices they made, and for their many contributions to our nation. May your blessings be upon us always. Amen. Now, with deep respect and reverence for the faiths, beliefs, and traditions of those gathered here today, please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you.
Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to recognize some of the elected officials that have joined us this morning. Our Register of Deeds, Ms. Amiga Jarman, is here with us. Sheriff Chris Thomas as well. And then a new elected official in the House with us today is the Mayor of Holly Ridge, Mr. Pete Perrin. Appreciate all of you being here this morning and being a part of our county government. That being said, we'd like to ask that all in attendance please set your cell phones to silent or vibrate mode. The board offers the public one opportunity to speak during the meeting. Comments should be limited to no more than 5 minutes and may be on any issue upon which the board has control. In accordance with the board's adopted rules of procedure, commissioners shall reserve responses, if any, for the commissioner comment period on the agenda. Right now, we need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, hearing none, motion carries. The approval of items on the consent agenda. If we do not have any that we would like to bring to the agenda, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, hearing none, motion carries. Mr. Smitherman, we're moving right into item 3 for public comment.
Yes, sir. We have 3 citizens signed up to speak this morning. The first one is Jeff LeBlanc.
Good morning, Commissioners. I come to you again this time as, again, the head coach of your Onslow County Down East Dirt Dog mountain bike team, which uses your Big Branch Bike Park on a regular basis. I came to you last year expressing how great we did in 2023. Your Onslow County mountain bike team took first place in the entire state of North Carolina, which encompasses close to 60 mountain bike teams. Can't share that same news for 2024. 2024, your Onslow County mountain bike team took second place in the entire state of North Carolina. So the facility you have built back here and now are looking at expanding upon has been a great asset for our team. Not just our team, but our families and a lot of folks in the county. I think other than the beaches at Onslow County in the summertime, Big Branch Bike Park is probably one of the most used parks in Onslow County. The facilities are awesome. I cannot thank you all enough, and the folks who take care of the facilities. It's not just a trail. You've built a facility with parking, the cleanest bathrooms I've seen at any county park anywhere. I was at a mountain bike race this past weekend. The porta-johns were so gross nobody could use them, okay? It was bad. Not in Onslow County, okay? This was a different county, quite a ways away. We get compliments every time we practice out there on just how great this park is and the facilities are. And I'm sure you know as well as I do, people travel from outside the county, not only within, but outside the county to come visit that park. The only complaint I have is we've had this trail for about 4 years now. There's yet to be an Onslow County Park and Recreation sign out on Highway 258 directing people to this park. Every little boat ramp on every little creek in Onslow County has one of those nice brown and white signs that says Onslow County Parks and Recreation and a picture of a boat. I'd really like to see one of those out on 258 with a picture of a bicycle, even a hiker, because hikers are out there all the time as well. We'd love to see that out there on this trail so people just find it a little bit easier. Last thing, good luck to all of you tomorrow. It's Election Day. I always save my vote for Election Day. It's just the same with me. I vote on Election Day. And good luck to you folks who are running for re-election. Thank you.
I want to thank you, before you go anywhere, I want to thank you and your wife, Diane, because I tell you what you've done. When she came to my office that day, we both work at the college. She came in my office and she said, can we get some property out in Burton Park? And she told me what it was. And I want to thank you too, because you're the two that instrumentally brought this forward to this commission. And I think we can guarantee you we can get a sign put up. I believe. I see the manager grinning.
Take note of that, Mr. Warren.
It would be awesome. Thank you very much. And Diane was going to be here. She woke up not feeling well this morning, but thanks, Paul.
Well, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mark.
The next speaker, Mr. Chairman, is Brian Russell.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And Jeff, I think you just made the trails more crowded. Thanks for that with the signs. I'm speaking to you in a couple capacities this morning. One, personally, I've been mountain biking my entire adult life, and Big Branch is one of my happy places. So thank you for supporting that, and thank you for expanding Big Branch. It's great to be a part of this park and community. Second, I actually work for Jeff LeBlanc in some cases. I'm a coach on the Down East Dirt Dogs, and he is exactly right. It is one of the best teams in the entire state, largely because of the culture Jeff and Diane LeBlanc built. You've got varsity high school athletes interacting with sixth graders and families coming together. And really, you know, in my third hat that I wear this morning as the director of the entire North Carolina League, that's what we're looking for. We are trying to build strong mind, body, and character in any middle school or high school student across the state of North Carolina, and this team is doing it right. Connecting in the woods, spending time with family, the confidence and some of the information I'm passing shows all the feedback from our parents and families about how important mountain biking is to them. So I came to express appreciation for that expansion at Big Branch. I've been talking with several county planners, and I would like to bring a league event here. That is a 2-day event, entire weekend, riding, games on Saturday, and then a racing all day Saturday. And some of the information I'm providing you through 2 seasons now of economic impact surveys, the league usually brings about $100,000 to town when it comes. About $90,000 of that is from our families, hotels and campsites and restaurants and the like. About $6,000 is what I need to invest in. Need some porta-johns for all those people, you know, need some food trucks, and that means they use the porta-johns after that. But yeah, I invest in the community. And then last season we started taking care of the places we visit. $1,000 or so, if you count $30 an hour of trail work. Your Down East Dirt Dogs are doing trail work all the time. I was out there 2 weeks ago with the kids getting ready for the Seacourse race. When the league comes to town, we're gonna improve that trail and take care of it when we're done. So thank you very much, the entire commission, for really improving a wonderful bike park already, just making it a little bit bigger, and we would love to come to town and have a great event here in Onslow County. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting that.
Mr. Chairman, our final speaker is Thomas Bradshaw.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Thomas Bradshaw. I'm the president of Down East Cyclists. We're the ones that maintain the trail on behalf of the county. Just want to echo what Jeff and Brian said, thanking you for the expansion. It's going to allow us to put on some bigger events. Some of the things we've been stewing around include an endurance race, a 6 and 3 hour race. I want to tell a quick story about our Seacourse race that we had last month. It was great. We had a great turnout, great weather and everything, but one of the gentlemen at the very end of the podium awards came up and he wanted to say how positive the community that we have built is. And that trail is just a tool to do that. So we thank you guys for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more speakers?
Mr. Chairman, that concludes our public comment period.
We appreciate y'all coming in and speaking on behalf of Big Branch Bike Park. I need Small Branch Bike Park to go with my Comfort mountain bike. I don't think it'll make it through that trail there. So we appreciate you coming in and sharing the good things that are going on there. Thank you. Now we'll move right into presentations. Ms. Galloway?
Yes, sir. Thank you. We have 2 proclamations, the first of which is National Adoption Awareness Month. I'll read that into the record. State of North Carolina, County of Onslow Proclamation, National Adoption Awareness Month 2024. Whereas National Adoption Awareness Month, we seek to increase awareness of adoption issues and bring attention to the need for adoptive families for children, youths, and teens in the foster care system. And whereas National Adoption Month is a chance for all individuals, families, businesses, organizations, communities, states, and the government to celebrate adoption. Adoption is encouraged as a positive way to grow families and take children out of foster care. And whereas this year's National Adoption Month theme is honoring youth, strengthening pathways for lasting bonds. Young people should have a strong support network that meets their needs, embraces, and affirms their racial, ethnic, and cultural identity, and promotes family, community, and cultural connections. And whereas youth leaving foster care without being adopted or without permanent connections face ongoing challenges with employment, education, and mental health, as well as have an increased risk of homelessness and human trafficking. And whereas every child in Onslow County, regardless of physical, medical, or emotional challenges, age, race, or sexual orientation, needs love, support, security, and a permanent place to call home. And the Onslow County Department of Social Services is committed to supporting children, youth, and teens in foster care, waiting for adoption, and supporting adopting families through education, services, and support. And whereas during Adoption Awareness Month, we celebrate all the families who have opened their homes to children through adoption, including the 13 children and youth adopted from foster care last year in Onslow County. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Onslow County Board of Commissioners recognizes November 2024 as National Adoption Awareness Month and urges all residents to support our children, youth, and teens in any way that they are able, by opening their hearts and homes through adoption, becoming foster parents, or by supporting adoptive and foster parents in our community. Presented on the 4th day of November 2024. Representatives from the Onslow County Department of Social Services will accept the proclamation, and the chairman has requested that Commissioner Carpenter present the proclamation.
Good morning. I think all of us in this room, yeah, keep coming around, Kevin says. Otherwise, you're going to be cut out of the picture. We don't want that to happen. Is that better? I think everyone in this room, and especially those standing here with me today, could agree that the children, youth, and teens of our community are the VIP citizens in Onslow County. And it is really just difficult to express the appreciation that we have for all of the staff standing here in DSS and for the families that take on foster children while they're finding a home, and for the families that then open their homes to permanently adopt these children in need. And I want to say thank you so much for all the heart that you give it and the time, and just keep doing a great job. On behalf of the commissioners, we're just so very blessed with all that you do. And I do encourage anyone that is listening to this right now that hasn't already considered how they might get involved with either foster care or adoption to please do that. And I'm sure anyone here in this group would be happy to help you with that as well. So thank you so much again. It is an honor to present this to you. Yes, thank you.
Commissioner Carpenter and the commissioners for accepting the proclamation to make November National Adoption Month, as this is a month that is set aside to raise awareness of the many youth that we have in foster care seeking to help find permanence. It is also a time of the month where we celebrate the professionals, those who work very hard and work diligently to find appropriate placement for the children who are in foster care. On this past Saturday, we had the opportunity to celebrate our second annual adoption celebration, where we were able to recognize 13 youth who were able to find their forever home and find permanence. And we're asking if you or anyone else who is interested in becoming a foster parent or want to foster to adopt, to please contact the agency, because our work is not done and we still have many youth who are seeking permanence. So again, we say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Galloway. We'll continue with the next proclamation.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman. Our second proclamation is Veterans Recognition Month 2024. State of North Carolina, County of Onslow Proclamation, Veterans Recognition Month 2024. Whereas on Veterans Day, America pauses to honor every service member who has ever worn one of our nation's uniforms. Each time our country has come under attack, they have risen in her defense. Each time our freedoms have come under assault, they have responded with resolve. And whereas, as we pay tribute to our veterans, we are mindful that no ceremony or parade can fully repay that debt. We remember that our obligations endure long after the battle ends, and we make it our mission to give them the respect and care they have earned. And whereas, under the most demanding of circumstances and in the most dangerous corners of the earth, America's veterans have served with distinction. And whereas, on Veterans Day and every day, we celebrate their immeasurable contributions, draw inspiration from their example, and renew our commitment to showing them the support of a grateful nation. Now therefore be it proclaimed, the Onslow County Board of Commissioners declares November as Veterans Recognition Month in Onslow County and encourages all citizens to recognize the bravery and sacrifice of our veterans through appropriate public or private ceremonies and gestures. Presented the 4th day of November 2024. Accepting this proclamation, we have many representatives of the Onslow County Council of Veterans Organizations, and the chairman has asked Vice Chairman Knapp and Commissioner Buchanan to present the proclamation.
Come on, Paul.
A few times.
Over. How you guys doing? Thanks, Fernando. Good man. Hey, so I got a bunch of heroes standing up here. They're veterans, and the reason why Paul Buchanan and I are presenting these because we're both veterans as well. We also have a veteran on the Walter Scott, an Army veteran, and our sheriff back here is also an Army veteran too. So, you know, it makes me very proud to present this to them and to honor our veterans, especially Paul. I've known him for a long time, ridden motorcycles with him. You know, once you're a veteran, whether you're a Marine, Army, Navy, Air Force, whatever, you're always a military member. And when I was in Boston the first part of this month, I went up there with my wife to take a few days off, and I wore my veteran hat. And I'm going to tell you something. You think Boston's a hostile city. It's probably one of the most friendliest people that I've ever run into. Because everywhere I turn, especially at Gillette Stadium, watching the Patriots lose, which they normally do, people are coming up to me, thank you for your service. I appreciate your service. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's a warm feeling. And I know these people back here have done a tremendous amount for this county. They bring a lot of knowledge and experience. They will always hang on to their military days. Every one of these people up here, to include to my left, Mr. Buchanan, who literally received a Purple Heart in Vietnam. You know, we wrote a blank check to the government. You know, we wrote a blank check knowing that any time that we could be deployed, we could be killed in the line of duty. And of course, Paul and I made it worse because they went into law enforcement after that. And, but, you know, I'm very proud to present this to you guys. I'm very proud for what you do. Wear those hats proudly. It gives me a warm feeling every time I see that. And I need to talk to you because I want to get one of those hats. So, but very proud of these veterans. When you go out today, you see a person in uniform, male or female, whatever, retiree, say thank you. Thank you for your service. When you say it to an old Vietnam veteran, it makes them feel good because they came back at a very tumultuous time during our country, and now we're recognizing them. Go up to an old timer and say thank you for your service for Vietnam, and watch their eyes light up. It makes you feel good. So I'm really proud of this, and I'm glad to present this to you. Paul?
I just have a few things. You know, thanking these people is an honor for me and a pleasure. But one of the things that I learned from Joe McLaughlin many years ago at the Vietnam Memorial, when he told me, and he says, Paul, you know, one of the things about our Vietnam veterans and all of our brothers and sisters, he taught me one thing: welcome home. All of us vets and all of our people that have fought in all the wars that we've had in Afghanistan, every place else. But it's a pleasure to me to be here today to say thank you to all our veterans. Thank you.
So on behalf of the county commissioners, you know, we take this sincerely, and it's an honor to present this proclamation to our veteran organizations within this county. There's so many of them that do so much good work for the citizens of this county. And we have a veteran, too, that works on our staff, Sergeant Major. He's our HR representative, and you can see the influence and experience that he brings when he comes to the meeting. Well organized, and it's right in your face, and I appreciate what you do.
One thing we needed to, I forgot. We need to thank Pat and Lee Walker.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They've been so instrumental in the Vietnam Memorial, and all of these people have helped them. And Pat and Lee Walker, they're very dear in my hearts. We lost Pat a long time ago, about 2 years, I guess it is now. And I don't know where Lee, I think Lee's left the area, but they're two instrumental people that really helped us with the Vietnam Memorial.
So anyway, Paul, on behalf of the commissioners, we'd like to present this proclamation to all the veteran units or veteran organizations within Onslow County. And as they say in the Marine Corps, hoorah.
Hoorah.
On behalf of the veteran population here in Onslow County, specifically the Onslow County Council of Veteran Organizations, which this is a small representation of, we're proud to and honored to receive such a recognition during this month, which observes not only Veterans Day, but the veterans in general, the Marine Corps birthdays in November. It's a pretty happy month for us because there's a lot to celebrate. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say or remind everybody that this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock, please have your friends and family and everybody you can find line up the road on Western Boulevard for the annual Veterans Day Parade. So a lot of us are involved in that. I happen to be the chair of it this year, and we're looking forward to some good participation. And that goes along with everything that the veterans have done, and they deserve the recognition. So thank you very much, and we appreciate the Board of Commissioners recognizing us each year on Veterans Day in this manner. And it's just very humbling to me because it's all of us have served, and we don't really expect recognition that we served, but it's humbling that we'd receive it. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll move on to our general items, starting with the purchase of some property. Ms. Carrie Sanders.
Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chair, and Commissioners. The item you have before you is the purchase of the property at 154 Bryn Mawr Road. As you're aware, in our Consolidated Human Services building, we have outgrown that space tremendously. We have over 400 employees in that space currently, and the struggle is employees don't even have their own workspace, that they are sharing workplace and having to work remotely due to the space issues. So we were very fortunate that earlier this year, the property at 165 Center Street, which is a county-owned property, we were able to terminate that lease that we had on that property. And the intent is to move over 100 child welfare social workers and supporting staff into the 165 Center Street property. Adjacent to that property is the 154 Bryn Mawr Road building that is currently owned by Montford Point Marines. With the parking issues at the 165 Center Street, we need extra space for parking, but also the vision for the 154 Bryn Mawr Road property is to develop a family-centered visitation building for our families that DSS currently works with for reunification. This will allow families to come into a safe space, a family-friendly space. They would not have to walk through security. They would not have to be able to go through our front doors where there is a multitude of people. This would be a place just for families to help with our reunification and to find those forever homes for children. So it is, the request is to purchase the property at 154 Bryn Mawr Road for tax value at $506,350. And as part of that transaction, the county would allow the Montford Point Marines Association to continue to utilize that parking lot during non-business hours. So it is respectfully requested that the Board of Commissioners consider approval of the purchase of the property at 154 Center Street Road in Jacksonville, North Carolina, in the amount of $506,350, and authorize the chairman to execute and sign all associated documents to effectuate the purchase, inclusive of the parking easement agreement on behalf of the county.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I think Carrie said it all. I mean, it's very valuable to us. It's going to be very valuable to our citizens and be able to do something a little bit more in private.
Yeah, one of the things too, because I was talking to Paul about it, and I think the chairman as well, a lot of people are confused on what this building does, and they don't realize the situation with DSS. You know, there are people that are home, they're on top of each other, and this kind of fell into our lap to buy such property for such a cheap price. And I think it's going to really enhance the productivity and the morale of our folks that working at DSS. So I'm really excited about this. I think this is a very, very cost-beneficial purchase, and well done. Just wanted to say well done, Carrie.
Thank you.
Mentioning the increase, the Medicare expansion and the increase of employees. So we got more that are coming on board to work. We're already out of space. This creates the existing building we have creates that space. But I think even more importantly is the building that we're purchasing, as you mentioned in your comments, is not going to be a institutional atmosphere, but it's going to be more of a nice, welcoming atmosphere as people from our Department of Social Services are working with reunification of families or the opportunity to meet new potential families. So you put a kid in an environment that is welcoming, that is reassuring, and not institutional, as if they're just going into a cold place. And when you're looking for families to reunify, you're looking for new families to adopt. The last thing you want is a cold, institutional feeling. You want a welcoming atmosphere, so that reunification or that potential for a new family starts off on positive footing, and it moves everything in the right direction. So I think this is going to create a huge benefit for our families in Onslow County, and our DSS workers are probably some of the most stressed people in the system. So we appreciate what they do. Any further discussion?
Yeah, when we opened our Consolidated Human Services building, just seems like just a few years ago, it was hard to imagine that we would outgrow that space, but circumstances have caused us to outgrow it. So this is a good opportunity for us to expand where we need to expand.
And just to clarify also, I think is important that we will be purchasing this using ARPA funds, you said, you believe?
No,
No?
that is not correct.
Okay. I
No,
thought
ma'am.
that it was.
That was a different project. What were we talking about earlier today?
There was another one, yeah.
The bike park. Yeah, the bike park.
Okay.
I will say that the properties that social services is in, we do get reimbursement through the state and the
Right.
federal government.
So fantastic, win-win for Onslow County and kids and families.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate that. No further discussion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sanders.
I have the next.
Oh, you have the next one too, I see. Don't sit down, stay right there.
The next item on the agenda is for the Regional Opioid Assessment Agreement. We have been a partner with the Eastern Carolina Council on Government, and within our 9-region county, we are all working to participate in an assessment Well, we would like to participate in a regional opioid assessment. This assessment would create a map for our 9-county region that will identify gaps in continuum of care for adult substance abuse disorder that will help us to address a strategic plan for our region. So the data collected for this assessment, it will include prevention initiatives in each county, recovery supports, and identify what the gaps in our region and individual communities is. So the Eastern Carolina Council pursued a sole source procurement for the assessment of a proposal through Recovery Alliance Initiative. This project will take approximately 12 months. The cost for Onslow County is $19,500, which would be covered through our opioid settlement funds through our first strategy of strategic planning. And this will help us to further address the opioid overdose crisis in our community. So it is respectfully requested that the Board of Commissioners consider approval of the regional opioid assessment and approve $19,500 from opioid settlement funds to cover the cost and authorize the county manager and finance director to sign all necessary documents on behalf of the county.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just got the one question. Where are we at on exactly what organizations or what type of treatment that's going to be offered, and who's going to get that nod to be supported, like the sheriff's office and areas of responsibility at the courthouse, because they got a lot of people that needs assessments and things done. Is that type of organizations going to be within the plan?
It will definitely identify what services are available in each community and where the gaps lie, so we can be more strategic in our planning. So just like, we use opioid funds in a portion of the licensed clinical addiction specialists, social workers that we have in the detention center to provide services, that should be identified in the assessment map.
So we should be able to more effectively target those areas where the gaps are if we know where they are, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Correct.
And do it in a collaborative manner with 8 other counties.
Yeah, it's a fact that our opioid issue is bigger than Onslow County. We really have to be collaborative with our other areas to make this work, so we appreciate this.
Yeah, absolutely. Filling in the gap, establishing or where the gaps are located is then being able to take them from, say they leave the detention center. We identify that gap and have someone lined up to meet them and continue that rehabilitation, because we know how difficult this addiction is with the opioids, and and there's probably not many people in this room that has not met, worked with, seen, or have a family member that woke up one morning and they didn't say, I want to be addicted. They become addicted for whatever had them on the opioids in the beginning. And it's a beast. And by filling in the gaps, then maybe we can start curtailing the recidivism of going back to that. So it's a difficult task, and very happy with the way Onslow County is working to help folks in those situations. So, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Sanders. We'll move right to the manager's comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple things to bring to your attention as well as the public's. The first is next week we will be working with 99 other counties to create the legislative agenda for the state, for the counties of the state, so that we're prepared in January when the legislature comes back in session. I know a good number of folks in this room, well, we have our own legislative goals, and several of you in this room have been part of furthering those goals in the legislative process, and those goals will be voted on officially next week. For the public's benefit, we had a inspiring conversation today about the future of Burton Park and how we are considering reimagining what it can be in our community and the gaps it can fill in affordable housing, recreation, and other ways. And we will be voting next meeting to enter into a relationship with UNC Chapel Hill's Development Finance Initiative to begin a market analysis of suitable uses for what we will soon call Burton Place. I bring your attention, please, to the December meeting schedule. It has become fluid, and we've proposed some new dates for December. Many of those are not standard meeting dates, including our workshop and Board of Commissioners orientation. So we will have 2 new board members coming in next month. I don't have it up on my screen, but I mailed you Friday some of those dates. Please let us know as soon as possible this week if any of those dates are in conflict with your schedule. We need to go ahead and get those advertised and plan the agendas for each. I will reemphasize the importance of this Montford Point building that we are purchasing. One thing I want to emphasize is our appreciation for the Montford Point Marines in working with us on this project. We are going to share a parking lot. They have needs, we have needs, and we're able to satisfy both needs in this transaction. They need the parking lot after 6. We need it from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it's quite the perfect relationship and the perfect location and a great opportunity for us to re-emphasize the importance of families in what we do and giving families their own space away from the hard institutional work that we do in social services is not only the right thing to do, but it is the best thing to do for the children in our system and the families in our system. And then finally, I'll bring your attention to the new church history exhibit that is being advertised right now in our museum system, and congratulate Lisa Whitman-Grice on that project. And I'm not sure how long that'll last, but it will be a while. Mr. DeSelms slid me the dates. We have our regular meeting on December 2nd, where we will swear in new members. On December 5th, we will do our annual ethics orientation, ethics training, which each of you are required to do, followed by Board of Commissioner orientation the rest of that day, and the following day on the 6th. We're proposing a Board of Commissioners workshop on December 12th, and we will still hold our regular meeting on December 16th because we have several public hearing cases in the planning and development arena. Thank you very much, Chairman. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Smitherman. Commissioner comments. We'll just start right to my left. And Commissioner Scott.
Well, okay. All right. Look, this past week and the weekend, myself and my wife, Laura, attended the Veterans Powwow, which was great. It was over 8,000 attendees. And it was a great opportunity to go out and meet people with different cultures. Just wonderful to see all our veterans out there. Remember our veterans, the Veteran Day's coming up. It's extremely important to everybody on this board, not only the veterans, but people themselves. Without the citizens of Onslow County, we would not be able to function. And I truly, truly mean what I'm fixing to say. You are the most important thing to us, the citizens that we serve. And I thank you for the opportunity to serve. I'll have more to say next week or the next meeting. In that time, I want you to keep me in prayer because I'm going under surgery. And I will be back for that meeting, the third week of December. November. Kind of tongue-tied here a little bit because got a lot of things that's on my mind. And I pray each and every day for each and every citizens that we have. And I thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Commissioner Price.
I'd like to thank all our veterans for their service as well, and thanks to Jeff LeBlanc and the guys that talked about Big Branch Bike Park, and we're excited about how successful that is for Onslow County as well. Also, a thank you to all Onslow County voters who voted early. The last site I looked at said that over 60,000 Onslow County voters had already cast their ballot, and I encourage you that if you have not cast your ballot, to do so tomorrow between the hours of 6:30 and 7:30, I believe it is whenever the polls close, at your respective precinct. So you have to vote at your precinct tomorrow. Not at an early voting site because early voting is over, but go directly to report to your precinct if you have not cast your ballot. Other than that, thank you for being here and have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Price. Commissioner Carpenter?
Yep. Well, I have to admit that one of the favorite days of the month for me is starting to be the first meeting day for the Board of Commissioners, because we are always promised a very fitful discussion over topics that center on our priorities that we established back at our retreat, and this morning proved just as interesting. We had so much information that we couldn't even contain it all, or we couldn't even express it all, hear it all during the 2 hours we were there? Yeah, seemed like it went really fast. Anyway, just to share, I guess, with citizens watching that there are great things happening in Onslow County right now. We are moving forward in big ways that are making us very current and matching the growth that we're experiencing with some very appropriate changes. And everybody doesn't like change, but you know what? Change is good. So I think we all just need to lean into it and embrace it. So thank you, staff, for their doing that, and also for what is going to be coming up next. And you took my thing about the election day. I am just amazed and so excited, and I talked about this last time too, about the participation that we're really witnessing in Onslow County right now. Last time I was here, I was talking about the surveys and the citizens that are rallying to share their opinions and put their voice out there for what they see in the future here. And citizens care about what's going on, not only in our local government, but in our state and our country right now, and the way that they showed up in masses. I think it's over 61,000, which beat the record I found out from our Board of Elections Director, Jason Dedman. 2020, we had 60,000 show up in total. So we've already beat the record. So I want to finish by saying thank you to all of our staff in that elections capacity, the paid staff that are there regularly. Jason's really working his tail off, I know. And all of the seasonal people that are there for election season and the volunteers. They are doing a phenomenal job, and it is a lot of standing on your feet and putting a smile on your face, which I did a little bit of last week, and I'm going to be there tomorrow starting at 6:30 and ending at 7:30 as well, because I really do believe in what we have is a privilege to vote here in America. So thank you so much, and just anxious to see how it all turns out tomorrow. Have a great week.
Thank you, Mr. Carpenter. Commissioner Buchanan?
Thank you. Seems like everybody took everything tonight. I didn't much left. I want to thank our veterans. You already know that, being a veteran myself. But one of the things I wanted to do, everybody's talking about the election. Tomorrow is the election day, general election. But the number, everybody keeps talking about 60,000. Actually, 61,818 people have voted early, and that's kind of unheard of. It's interesting that, and I think it's over 4.4 million in the state of North Carolina have already voted. That's pretty interesting, and looks like that our people want to get out and vote and do what their duties, take care of the business. But I want to thank the citizens of Onslow County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Buchanan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You never know what order we're going to be in, so we have to be ready. Keep us on our toes. That's right. Got to be ready all the time.
Change it up.
I did mention in the workshop, I just wanted to thank the executive leadership team for the pay study. I think that's been needed for a long time, and I'm looking forward to our employees getting back on the pay scale that they need to have. And I appreciate the manager for spearheading that and making sure that we had the funding available to fund those. I'm looking forward to the January 1st start of the new pay scale for everybody. Also want to thank the manager and the team for their utilization of the School of Government Development Finance Initiative. I went to one of their classes on development finance back 6 or 7 years ago, and we haven't used them a lot, but now we're starting to use them some, and it's a resource that the UNC School of Government provides to local governments that we really need to take advantage of. So I appreciate you guys doing that. And finally, I would have to recognize Mr. Keith Fisher and Megan Birch, who were the dancing stars of Jacksonville. If you missed the Onslow Victim Center Dancing Stars night, it's an exciting time. It's a lot of fun, and the winners this year were Keith Fisher and Megan Birch, so I congratulate them. So that's all I have. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Commissioner Bennett. Vice Chairman?
Just a couple of things. First, shout out to Tony Padgett, who's sitting there in the second row, and to Barry Collins, our Superintendent of Education. Go ahead and raise your hand, Barry. Good to see you attending our meetings. Appreciate you guys attending. One of the things that I was impressed with, especially this morning when I came to the workshop, is how professional it looked in the building in our workshop with all the new logos, the brand that we've incorporated, the professional briefings, the professionalism displayed on the PowerPoints. Everything was so thorough. It was succinct and thorough, and I really appreciate that. And it's refreshing to come into a very professional setting like that when you walk in a room and you have, our, I call it the creed of Onslow County that's up on the wall with pictures. We even rated the #1 nameplate, so I appreciate that instead of the paper nameplate. So some of you got the cheap seats, but that's okay. But that was really nice. It was a nice touch, and I couldn't be more proud. And I use that because it shows the progress that this county's making. And we're making progress in the right direction. We're confronting our problems. We're approaching our problems, and I'm impressed with the staff. And I'm going to say this to one individual, and I'm going to always call you Sergeant Major, Tom, because you earned that title after 20-plus years in the Marine Corps, so I'm going to always refer you to Sergeant Major. But very impressed with our new HR director. He's very to the point, very organized, very strategic in his thinking, which I really appreciated. I had a meeting with him early in the morning, along with some other commissioners, and it was really refreshing to hear your point of view. You were right on the money with some of your concepts, and just welcome aboard, and job well done to you and to what you're doing right now for Onslow County. The only other thing I want to say is, Commissioner Buchanan hit on it. 61,000 people came out to the polls. I mean, that's the record for Onslow County. The first day of early voting, you couldn't even get in the building. I tried, and I waited 20 minutes. My patience was thin, and I just said, forget it. So I went like a couple of days later. But even this Saturday, one day, the last day of early voting, it was crowded, at the Commons especially. I mean, the line was backed up, and there were people out there. What I'm saying is it's refreshing to see all the people, whether you're voting Republican, Democratic, whoever your candidate is, that you're out there voting, and that's what counts. You're voting for the candidate that you feel is important. And this election is probably one of the most pivotal elections in the history of our country as far as the federal level is concerned. It's also important at the local level too, so we kind of make sure that people understand that we take the time to vote who we want for our candidates, whether it be for commissioner or labor commissioner or whatever it might be. Take the time to vote, and then take the time to vote nationally. It's going to be an interesting night. Tuesday night's going to come and roll around tomorrow, and we are not going to have the results for the national election, I can tell you that. It's going to be several weeks before we get through everything and they come down to a finalization. It probably won't be until January until they authenticate the vote. But nonetheless, it's exciting. But at the same time, I'm tired of all the slander on both sides. I don't know about you, but I cannot stand the commercials from Kamala's side to Trump's side going back and forth with each other. It's pathetic. And the race is basically turned dirty in that sense. And when I watch Fox News or I watch something and I see a commercial, I immediately turn it off because I'm just sick of listening to it. It makes me gag, to be honest with you. I mean, how many times can you call somebody a certain name in so many different fashions? It's just ridiculous. But I'm proud of Onslow County. Get out there. We've got a new year starting. with this new board that's coming on board in December. We're already beginning to pre-process our budget process. That's going to start to take, our workshops are going to start in January, February, so it's a never ongoing project. I'm very proud of where we are now. I'm very proud of this community and what direction we're going, and I'm extremely proud of the staff that we have in Onslow County, because I firmly believe that every member of this staff is the glue that holds this county together. There's no doubt. You guys work hard, you're very professional, and I just wanted to express that because I am tremendously impressed by the professionalism that I've observed over the last several months. And like I said, it's refreshing. So get out and do your job. If you haven't voted, get out there and vote tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day, and I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. A lot been shared, and it's been a great morning, but I'm going to go back to Adoption Awareness Month. Appreciate that being recognized, and the importance of that is that does a couple of things. Is the adoption creates a whole new life and excitement for a child, and it also provides a child for the life of those that have been wanting a child. And it's just I've seen that happen firsthand, and so it's a great thing. It's a great thing to have that, and the tremendous work that you put into your jobs. It's not easy. It's probably, like I said earlier, one of the most difficult jobs to do, the ups and downs, the celebrations and the sadness. So we appreciate what you're doing as you continue to move that forward. Veterans Day is coming up. Onslow County has one of the largest veterans populations across the nation. So it doesn't take more than 2 steps somewhere in town or wherever you're going to run into a veteran or someone associated with any branch that we have here. And I remember a couple years ago, Commissioner Buchanan made a comment at our meeting about when you see a Vietnam veteran, just say welcome home. And I've taken that to heart. Last week I got on the elevator here, and there was a gentleman that had a Vietnam veteran's hat on he was headed up the Veteran Services, who does a great job supporting our veterans and taking care of them. I looked at him and said, welcome home. And you're absolutely right, Commissioner Buchanan. His reaction was almost startled, and he said, man, I don't ever hear that. Thank you. And that meant the world to him at that moment. So the significance of veterans in Onslow County, go to Lejeune Memorial Gardens, Beirut Memorial, Vietnam Memorial, Montford Point Memorial, Corman Memorial, 9/11 Memorial, and the future site of the Carolina Museum of the Marine. If you haven't visited that site, take this weekend to visit. Just walk through the gardens and realize and be thankful of all those that have been a part of our services. And those names on those walls are those that we've lost, and we always recognize them on Memorial Day. So thank a veteran. We appreciate it. The parade is Saturday. Paul Levesque mentioned that, 10 o'clock on Western Boulevard. Unfortunately, I will be out of town, but go out and support the veterans by attending that parade. Legislative Goals Conference is next week. Commissioner Price and myself are on that to go. And Commissioner Price will be that voting person because he'll be able to be at all of it on Thursday and Friday. So we appreciate his work and the legislative goals. That will be North Carolina Association of County Commissioners will be leading us in. Important things was we sat at the table with Joe Ed this morning, along with the folks from Chapel Hill. What are we going to do with Burton Park? So we've got a lot of information that'll be starting up. The commissioners and the county is on board. Joe Ed stood up, and they're on board working with it. So it's going to be a joint venture, and we're looking forward to seeing what this Burton Place becomes in the future. Also, employees, remember in that budget, we set so many priorities for employees. You're going to see that come into fruition in the next couple of months with a pay implementation. And that study is one of the priorities is recognize your people, acknowledge your people, reward your people, and build a culture that people want to be a part of Onslow County. So we're hoping that we are building that culture, and everybody is happy to be working for Onslow County. And if we can find the means to get a little more jingle in your pocket, then we'll make you a little bit happier. But we all know that pay isn't always what keeps you here. It's the enjoyment and the culture that's been created within your community or organization that you work with that will keep you here. And that's what we want to do, create a culture that people want to work in Onslow County. And we appreciate those that are currently working for us, and we're going to keep you here. So thank you for that. With that being said, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion and a second, and we are adjourned.
Don't forget, gentlemen.